Hello, this is the felting kit for the mushrooms from Felton Folk. In the kit, you should have received two 38-star needles, a bamboo skewer, a wood stump, and then assorted wool colors and white for your mushroom trunk. So, I'm going to show you how to make a mushroom, and you can go with that and make them however you would like. There's so many different ways. Here's a bunch of mine. A little one, like a medium one, and a big one. You can make the trunks thin or small or just however you want. You can do no spots or spots. It's just really fun. So I'll show you how to make them. So I'm gonna do, I think, bluish green one. So I'm gonna take some of the wool, depending on the size I want. I think this one's gonna be a small one. And I'm gonna just make sure it's pretty much all going in the same direction. Not super tight. Okay. I'm gonna pull it tighter. I'm gonna take it one edge, and I'm just gonna tightly start rolling it to a ball. Just take it. Oops. It's kind of like a dumpling. You want, if you know what that looks like, you want all to be smooth on one edge. See, I'm gonna need to redo that. Smooth on one side and then pinched all to the center on the other side. So I'll start that again. Smooth sailing. Alright, so smooth on that side. And then I'm going to take my bottom leftover wool and I'm going to twist it up. And then put it here, take my needle, and very carefully around those ends, I'm going to felt them in. So this is going to be a itty bitty one, just so it doesn't come undone. Felt those in. Depending on what you're looking for, I tend to like my mushrooms a little bit flatter than domed. If you like a domed look, you can just play around with this. If you like a flatter look, then you can follow me over to my kitchen sink where I'll show you how to do that. So you can play around with this, keep going, felting in a circle to get it all really circular. It looks pretty good. You could even just put a bottom on this, but I'm gonna make mine a little bit flatter. I'll show you how I do that. Okay, here at the sink, I'm gonna turn on some warm water. I'm gonna get my wool wet, and then I'm gonna put the tiniest bit of dish soap, and then I'm just going to basically start washing the wool, but I'm gonna try to keep it in that shape. This is called wet felting. So this mushroom is going to have a combination of needle felt and wet felting. I just feel like I tried to do only wet felting, and I've tried doing these needle felted, and I just really like the look of the combination. So you play around with it and see what you like. So I'm just kind of doming out the center from underneath the mushroom, and I'm pulling it down so it's not so domed, it's a little bit flatter. And I'm just finding those spots where it's a little bit less felted and just kind of rubbing it there. Right there's a little weak spot. I'm gonna rub it together. Alright, let me rinse it out. There's it here. Squeeze it. Usually when you think all of the soap is gone, it's not. So I tend to like to play with it a little bit more and see, but I try to keep that dome shape going. Just want a slight dome, but I want my edges to be flatter. Okay. I think my soap is all gone. I'm going to take a towel or a paper towel and just kind of dab it. Alright, I might recommend a paper towel if it's a brighter colored wool in case it might get onto your towels. So, alright, now that I have that, I'm going to take it back to my pad. Okay, so now it's back. I'm just going to kind of clean up the edges. That lost its circular shape there. Just gonna kind of play with it over here. Just be very careful with your fingers. Try to do the work on the over the foam and not up in your hand. Okay, and then I'm gonna take some of that white wool and I'm gonna roll it up loosely in a ball. I'm gonna felt it on the underside of my mushroom. Just very lightly. I don't wanna stab it too much because I don't want it to poke through the top of the mushroom. And I like to leave it a little loose because it kind of gives that spory look on a mushroom. Okay. Now I'm going to add the dots on top. Show you how to do that. So I take a little bit of white and I'm just gonna kind of roll this end in my fingers. Pick a spot on here, right here. So I'm just gonna stab it in, and then I'm going to wrap this around and then stab, wrap it around, stab, wrap, and stab. I kind of try to go around the edges so it still leaves kind of an indentation. Alright, so I'll just keep doing that all the way around. Okay, so now that all my white spots are on, I'm just going around and cleaning it up. Just kind of felting where it's bumpy and a little uneven. Just trying to get a more circular shape here, mushroom shape. Under here it looks a bit wonky, so it looks like I need to add a little bit more white to make it even, which is fine. I will be adding more later too. Okay, now for the stem. So here's the top. It's got a slight dome, but it flattens out, which I like. It kind of looks like a cookie a little bit. Okay, so now you're gonna take your skewer and you're gonna take the white wool and you're gonna take your skewer and you're gonna wrap the wool around the skewer. This is going to be your stem. The tighter you wrap, the less felting you'll have to do. If you like it to be fatter on one end than the other, try to wrap it a little bit fatter on one end, but also rest of this. I'm gonna wrap it all around. I'm just gonna kind of make sure it's all wrapped in there pretty tight. I'm gonna do it the direction I was wrapping, and then I'm gonna opposite just to kind of loosen the center. And so both ways twisting, and then pull it off. And then I'm gonna felt along every side. All the way up and down. This little end is okay. I'll be using that to help felt it onto the base. So you can see a weak spot right there, so I'm gonna felt from this angle up as well as this one down. Just try to avoid flicking your felting needle. Okay, mine needs a little bit more. It's just a little too thin for my liking, so I'm gonna add a little bit more white. So I'm gonna open this up, put my stem on here, and wrap it up pretty tight. Okay, and then felt again. Okay, I'm starting to get a little bit too much fuzz down here, so I'm going to start felting it up. Use that wool. Okay, I want it to be dense and strong. It's going to be holding our mushroom up. Getting it from all directions. You can feel where it's not as strong as others. Here. So maybe I'm gonna make it a little bit shorter. Just fine. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay. So now I'm gonna be taking the top of my mushroom stem and I'm gonna lay it in the middle. I'm gonna take, so this will be folded. So I want to make sure this is in the center. And then I'm going to felt this top on, the fuzzy top. Try not to go too much into the base. Do a little bit at an angle here, an angle this way. It doesn't need to go all the way through the top. You just need to do the tip of your needle. And then I'm going to turn my mushroom around this way and felt down here. Here. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit more white. And follow the base of my mushroom out. Just so it's all properly secured on. You can feel it. I mean, you could probably rip it off, but just secure enough to hold it, be played with, touched with, and not fall off. A little bit more on this side. Okay, I'm gonna take a pair of scissors and just kind of trim all this fuzz off. Oops, cut one of my spores off the top. trimmed it down a little bit. Okay. Just kind of has a little bit cleaner look I'm going for. Okay. Now on my bottom, I like to do some lines under here. I'm going to take this dark gray, take a piece, roll it between my fingers. It's tight. Starting at the base, I'm going to felt it there and bring it out to the edge. Just very lightly felting it. I'm going to do that all the way around until it looks like this one, and this one. So I'll do it another time. And again, you can play with it however you'd like. Maybe you like it without it. Maybe you like it with more. So you can just play around with it. But here we have my mushroom. And it looks really cute with all my other ones. Cute. Okay, now I'll show you how to attach it to your stump. Okay, so now you're gonna take your green for the moss, and I'm gonna kind of bunch it up and see how much I'm gonna need. So I don't want it to be too much. I kind of like that size. I'm gonna bring it over here, just kind of bunch it in a ball. And you can always add more or even take away. So I'm just gonna felt this down. And we're gonna be attaching it, the mushrooms, to the base, just like how we attached the stem of the mushroom to the top. So going around the base of it, all around, and adding a little bit more green where we need it. So I like to kind of follow my edge around here, get the shape I'm looking for. And then felt. So there, you kind of take it off and see what I got here. I like that. It just needs to be felted a little bit more, but it's a good size. I like it. Right now it's very loose, and I might keep it pretty loose. A little bit more felted. I'm originally from Washington State, so I'm very familiar with my moss. My husband, being from Utah, jokes that, yeah, we have dryness and cockroaches, but at least they don't have moss growing on their cars. So, okay, so here's my base. I'm liking how it's looking. I'm gonna take, here, I'll take actually the one we were working on. And I'm gonna put that little fuzzy down. You see how I did that? Put it down underneath it. And you kind of want to, if you're, you know, arrange it how you want it. Maybe I want this one above. So you just kind of play with it. I want this one there. I want this one right on this side. More over here. Maybe I want to add a third, like that. Okay, so this one I want right here. And I want it so the side's facing out. So I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to take all that fluff and felt it into the bottom. And then I'm just gonna start felting down the base of this all the way around on all sides. even from inside the mushroom, just to get that center felted down. Take a little bit of the from felting from down up. You can take a little bit more of your the green and felt around the base a little bit. Again, you could rip it off if you tugged hard enough, but you want to make sure that it's pretty good, pretty sturdy like that. Pulling it, yeah. Not that you want to pull it by that, but you can. Okay. Make sure it's gonna stand up and not fall over on me. Okay, it's looking pretty good. It's a little off balance right now because it wasn't centered. Once I add my other mushrooms, it'll be better. And then when I'm done, I'm going to be, after they're all felted on, I'll be hot gluing this to the top of this. And just be very careful when you set it on, because this is, you know, not solid. The hot glue can go through, so just be very careful of your fingers. It even sticks on pretty well without it, but so cute. I can't wait to see your creations. Please share on Instagram, or even just email them to me. I would love to see what you make and your own creative spins and ways of doing it. So thanks for following along with me. When felting on the second one, you can do the same thing of felting it on the base, but then if they're touching, like right here, I want them to be touching. What I'm going to do is felt the stems together in that spot, just for added support. Right there, just to help it stay up together a little bit better, just like that. Perfect.